So welcome to the class. So today we will see how to create the table in the HTML. So to create the table in HTML, we use the tag table. We use the tag table, and we say that it is said that table is a combination of rows. So table means like this. So this is a table, and this is first row, second row, third row, and so on and so forth. So table is the combination of rows. So how many rows are there? So there are 4 different rows. So this is a table, and inside this table these are the cells where these are known as cells where we insert the values of the table. So now see, this table is the tag. To start the table, we use the tag table, and then after we have to create the table row by row. So for creating row, so we have to use the tag tr. So when I write tr, the first row will be created and it should be closed by this tr. And now after this, first we create the row. So inside this row we have to insert the values also. So for that one, td means table definition. The many number of tds you use, so many number of cells will be created. So td, and then after you write any value abc, suppose abc, and you have to close with again td def, close td. So when you write this much, so the first row will be created. So this tr will create the row, and then after, so how many td, how many table definitions, or how many table data you are storing? So we are creating 2 table data. So first a b c and d e f. So this is how we insert the value inside the row of a table. Okay, again now to close the table, again if you want to create another row, you want to create another row, again write tr and td, and inside this td, if you write xyz td, again td pqr. So if you write pqr and close td, that means 2 datas you are inserting. So and then after close table row. So this is how the first row is created, and then after the second row will be created, and it will look like this: xyz pqr. And then after, to close the table, to end the table, so you have to close it with table, like this table. Okay. So now take an example to create a table like this. So I'll write a coding for this one, HTML coding. So always first you see how many rows are there. There are 1 2 3 4 and 5 different rows. Okay, and these are the values inside the rows. So first we start with HTML. We write HTML, then after head, and then after title. Okay, so I'll give the title as table only, table title, close, and then after close head, and then after we'll start writing body, because this table we have to create it inside the body. So whatever we do inside the body, and then after this, inside this body tag, now I'll create a table. So for that one, just write table first. So now the table will start creating. Then I first table row, first row, and then after first row will create, and inside the first row what is there? Name and address. Just you write name, address. Okay. td and inside this you write name and close table definition TD and table. Next is address close TD. So when you write this much, the first row will be created, and then after close this first row. So when you close this one, so first row will be created with the table value as name and address, and then after again next row, so again write TR, and inside this again you write TD. What is there in TD? Amit and Karsan. Okay, Amit close TD, KSG Karsan close TD and close TR. So when you write this much, so two row will be created. So on and so forth. For this third row, fourth row and fifth row, you start writing all this, and then at the last you close with the table tag and close body, and then after close the program HTML, and then after you save it, then after you save this programming and you run the program. So this type of this will be created. Since here I'm creating only two rows, okay, I'm creating two rows, and in the same way the further rows can be created, and at the end you have to close with table body and HTML. So this is how we create the table in HTML. And again, see, so when you create this one table, since we have to give the border, so this, you see this line, if you don't give the border, so border will not be created. BORDER border equals to, suppose you write 1, 2 or any number. So this is the thickness of the border. If you don't write border, so it will look like this: name, address, then after Amit KSG. So it will come like this. So to create the border, you have to use the table attribute, that is by writing the attribute name as border equals to the value of the border. So this will increase the width of the border, the size of the border line, size of the lines of the border. So this is how we create table in the HTML.